Had you ever entered a room and felt an immediate shift, even though no one uttered a word? This isn't mere coincidence. There's an invisible presence about you that precedes your physical form. This is energy, your aura. It's an unseen field you radiate, simply by being who you are. Your presence holds weight. It resonates, vibrating before your voice ever reaches the air. This subtle yet profound force, Carl Jung referred to it as the self, the center of our inner world where the ego and essence converge. When this alignment occurs, your energy becomes palpable. And for some, it can feel almost overpowering. Some will be drawn to it, while others may recoil, for your light, unintentionally, has the power to unveil the very shadows they prefer to keep hidden. Throughout history, cultures and mythologies have spoken of individuals whose energy seemed to transcend the ordinary. The healer who enters a community and transforms the atmosphere with a mere glance. The wise figure who brings peace to turmoil, simply through presence. Or that person who walks into a room and for a moment causes time to stand still, leaving everyone in hushed. What is it that these individuals have in common? It's an inner harmony, a resonance that extends outward, touching everything in its path. Their aura is alive. It stirs the environment. It does not shy away. In this video, we will explore 13 signs that your aura might be so potent it could cause discomfort in others. Stay with me to the end, for beyond understanding these signs, you'll begin to recognize your own power and realize that what sets you apart isn't a flaw. It is the very force that makes you magnetic. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to QuantumAligned. Let's journey deeper. The first sign is that your presence is inescapably striking. There are people who fade away as quickly as they arrive, and then there are others whose energy lingers long after they've left, even if they've said nothing or if we barely know them. It's not something seen with the eyes, but something deeply felt. People will often say, there's something about that person, and this is the quiet, invisible weight of your energy. It's the alignment between your inner self and what you project outward. The body enters later, but the soul has already arrived. Jung once said, the psyche transcends the limits of the body. We are more than flesh and thought. We are presence. This presence is shaped by everything we have lived, the lessons we've absorbed, and the truths we stand for. The more authentic you become, the more refined your energy, and the more unforgettable you will be without trying. It's a silent power undeniable in its subtlety. It's like a fragrance unseen, but sensed by all. And just as a scent stirs memories or evokes emotions, your presence leaves an indelible mark. This mark is the reflection of your inner alignment. True alignment, however, is not rigidity. It's a fluid coherence between thought, feeling, and action. This harmony forms a unique energetic signature, a frequency that endures through time. Don't try to shrink or explain yourself. You weren't created to remain unnoticed. Those with such striking presence often feel out of place, and their energy arrives before their body does. People may react with resistance, projection, or fascination, but they won't always understand you. And that brings us to the second sign. Your aura makes people feel either expanded or threatened. Your presence is never neutral. It activates, amplifies, and provokes. Your energy touches parts of others that have been hidden, parts they may not even acknowledge themselves. Just by existing, you access deeper layers of the psyche. This resonates with the wisdom that each of us carries a shadow, a part of ourselves we've suppressed or rejected in order to conform. This shadow is not dormant. It reacts, and it feels threatened when confronted with truth. When your aura is clean, intense, and authentic, it challenges this shadow. Not because you are doing anything wrong, but because you represent something others may not yet hold within themselves. Truth can be frightening for those still hiding behind facades. Individuals struggling with inner conflict often project onto you what they are unwilling to face. You become a mirror to their repressed desires, lost power, and unhealed wounds. This can trigger irritation, dislike, or even hostility with no clear cause. But there is another side. Your expansive energy can also serve as a gateway for transformation. For those who are ready, your presence becomes a portal to their awakening. They will feel bigger, more courageous, more connected, almost liberated. You continuously emit the same energy. What changes is the state of the one receiving it. In this way, you often act as a catalyst for growth. You are a living reminder that there is more to life, more awareness, more wholeness, more truth. Not everyone is prepared for such a shift. Some will flee, while others will feel a deep pull toward you, as if they found something they've long been searching for. This is how your aura works. It expands the field around you, and each person reacts according to the state of their own inner world. Some walk into a space and make it feel larger, fuller. Others, however, may feel threatened because you reveal what others would rather keep hidden. The third sign that your aura is powerful is that animals, children, and nature recognize and respect you. The aura, this energetic field we emanate, has a profound connection with the primal world. Animals, with their heightened instincts, can sense the energy we radiate far more acutely than humans. They don't perceive status, looks, or tone of voice. They perceive energy. They sense what lies beneath your intentions, your vibration, your emotional state. An animal knows when you're anxious, even if you're smiling. It can sense fear, affection, imbalance, or peace. This is because their form of communication is subtle, silent, and energetic. When your aura is pure, grounded, and harmonious, animals feel it and instinctively trust you. They approach with ease, knowing you present no threat. This perception is a deeper kind of awareness that transcends logic. Animals, children, and nature itself are expressions of the living unconscious. And the unconscious, as wise thinkers have pointed out, responds to symbols, vibrations, and archetypes. It understands not through words, but through the essence of energy, recognizing truth because it resonates on the same frequency. When your aura is awakened, it exudes this silent truth. A dog, a cat, or even a wild animal can remain calm around someone whose energy radiates authenticity and presence. It's as if nature has taught them to see with the body, not the eyes. They don't perceive your personality, they perceive your energetic field. The reverse is also true. When there is inner chaos, hidden tension, or suppressed emotion, animals pick up on that too. They may pull away, act suspicious, bark, or hide, not because you are inherently bad, but because your frequency is unstable. It's not a judgment. It's a natural, energetic response. In the language of nature, strength doesn't shout. It remains firm yet gentle. Animals gravitate toward those whose energy reflects this quiet power, this calm strength. This shows us that the aura serves as a bridge, translating your presence into a form of communication beyond words. And animals speak this language fluently. The connection between aura and children is equally profound, instinctive, and often magical. Not in the mystical sense, but magical in their unfiltered perception. Children don't process with a mind, they perceive through their energy field. They haven't yet been molded by societal expectations, so they experience things as they feel them, not as they are told. Before they learn to understand words, they feel the energy behind your gaze, your tone, and your presence. An unbalanced aura may cause restlessness in children, while a centered, warm aura brings peace and calm. When your aura is pure, real, and connected, children naturally trust you. The beauty of this sign is that it requires no effort. It doesn't ask for performance. It demands only presence, and presence rooted in truth. In this way, Animals, children, and nature respond with a purity of perception that, sadly, too many adults have lost. The fourth sign that your aura is so powerful it might unsettle others is a simple one, often silent and sometimes unsettling. You intimidate without trying. You walk into a room with a calm heart, peaceful eyes, and no desire to assert dominance, yet you notice defenses rising. Rigid postures, tense voices, forced smiles. Your mere presence seems to trigger a shift. This can be hard to accept, especially if you consider yourself a kind person who values respect and avoids arrogance. But it's not your actions that intimidate, it's what you represent. In the language of psychology, the persona is the social mask we wear to gain acceptance. And the more someone is entrenched in that mask, the more fragile it becomes when confronted by someone living in authenticity. You are not performing, you simply are. But this pure existence can feel overwhelming to someone still trapped in defensive roles. Your authenticity challenges the illusion they have built around themselves. Without intending to, that can feel like a threat. People will project their own insecurities onto you. They might see superiority where there's only presence, or mistake humility for arrogance. But this says more about them than it does about you. Your silence may be interpreted as judgment, your strength as coldness, your clarity as rigidity. Those who haven't embraced their own light often perceive someone else's as an attack. But there's something even deeper here. You carry the energy of inner coherence, and coherence is a rare and powerful thing. It challenges misalignment in others. Your mere existence, without any need to speak, suggests that it is possible to live without pretending. This challenges the roles and expectations that many have built their lives around. You don't need to dim your light to make others feel comfortable. Doing so would be a subtle form of self-betrayal. Some people will find inspiration in your quiet strength. Others will react defensively, but that is not your burden. How they respond reflects what is unresolved within them. You do intimidate, yes, but not with the intention to dominate. You intimidate because you reveal. And some people mistake presence for threat, especially when all they've known is absence. The fifth sign that your aura is incredibly powerful is that you shift the energy of any space you enter. Sometimes you notice it, sometimes you don't, but it always happens. It's not a flashy display of power demanding attention. It's the opposite. It's a quiet strength that doesn't need to show off. It simply settles in. When you walk into a room, something shifts. People sit up straighter, others look away, and some fall silent without realizing it. For a few moments, the atmosphere itself seems to change. This is not control. It's an energy field. According to energy healers and scientists, our energy field extends far beyond the physical body. Our aura reaches out in all directions, subtly interacting with everything it comes into contact with, the people, the environment, the emotional temperature of a space. This energetic field carries deep information about who we are, what we feel, and even what we've lived through. That's why, when your energy is aligned and true, you can rearrange the emotional landscape of a room. Not by forcing anything, but through the sheer presence of your being. Carl Jung spoke of symbolic presence, the living energy of an individual that, even without intention, activates the unconscious of others. And that is exactly what happens when you enter a space. Your energy carries symbols, archetypes that awaken what's dormant in the environment. You represent something, perhaps without even meaning to, and that shift alters everything. Some might call it a strong presence, but it is not strength in the conventional sense. It is vibrational coherence. And coherence creates resonance. It organizes, it disrupts, transforms. You might not realize the depth of your impact, but the space around you does. The field always responds. Your aura does not require a stage to make its influence felt. It works in the unseen. Wherever you go, the energy does not remain unchanged. The sixth sign that your aura is impossible to overlook is your effortless ability to read people and spaces. It's not guesswork, nor is it a mystical gift. It's silent reading, a sensitivity that operates beneath the surface of logic, yet with almost uncanny precision. You walk into a room and instinctively sense that something is off, even if everything seems normal. You can feel when someone is uncomfortable, even if they are smiling. Tension in the air, you can read it. Even in calm moments, you know when something is out of place. It's as if your very skin breathes in the atmosphere. Your body translates the hidden codes of the invisible. That is intuition. When your aura is clear, grounded, and expanded, it becomes a finely tuned antenna. It picks up frequencies, nuances, subtle vibrations, and translates them into instant but accurate perceptions. Jung described the unconscious as communicating through symbols, emotions, and sensations. Intuition is the language of the self, a quiet, internal compass that doesn't speak loudly, but guides. It doesn't explain, but it points. It doesn't argue, but it reveals. That's why you instinctively know when energy is out of alignment. You can sense when someone is pretending, when a space feels heavy, light, manipulative, or safe, without needing any facts, history, or context. This kind of perception can sometimes be uncomfortable because it reveals truths before they manifest in the form of facts. Often, you might try to convince yourself that you're simply overthinking, but deep down, you already know. Your aura reads, your body reads, and the language is vibrational. Even without effort, you are always translating. At times, this protects you, but at other times, it can overwhelm you. You may not always want to know so much or feel so deeply, but you do. And that is not a flaw. It's awakened sensitivity. You possess a symbolic perception of reality. You see beyond the literal. You feel through layers. In a world often blinded by superficiality, this is a rare and powerful gift. Intuition can't be taught, but it can be nurtured. And the more aligned you are with your own truth, the clearer the world around you becomes. The seventh sign that your aura is powerful is deceptively simple, but unmistakable. Small talk drains you. You've tried. You've smiled and nodded, exchanged pleasantries about the weather, and followed social scripts, but something in you wilts during those exchanges. It's your energy field rejecting what lacks substance. Your aura knows when there is real presence, and when the conversation is just a collection of empty words filling silence. You feel it in your body. Your energy sinks, your chest tightens, your mind starts to wander. Something inside you begins to check out as if to say, there is nothing here for me. And honestly, there isn't. You are not made to fit into social masks. Your presence demands authenticity, and that can be uncomfortable for others because it calls for realness, true listening, genuine connection. It's not about wanting deep conversations all the time. It's about truth, about connection. Jung taught that wholeness is found through integrating the unconscious. Superficiality, on the other hand, is the refusal to look within. It's role-playing, speaking in circles to avoid depth. By simply being, you point directly to the center. But this selective energy field also comes with a side effect: loneliness. The world may be full of noise, but it is starving for presence. When you begin to demand silently that your interactions be real, the crowd will naturally thin out. You'll find fewer conversations, but those that remain will carry greater depth. Fewer people, but more soul. In this way, loneliness transforms. It is no longer a void, but a cleansing space where you don't need to shrink to fit in. The eighth sign that your aura is powerful is that others project their shadows onto you. The more aligned your energy, the more it activates what others have repressed. You don't need to say a word. Just being your authentic self is enough to trigger strong reactions, idealized admiration, baseless criticism, sudden distancing. As I mentioned earlier, the shadow is everything we suppress, reject, or forget to gain acceptance. Jung's psychology speaks to this core concept. A person's truth can discomfort another simply by being present. When you show up with authenticity, it creates disruption. Your presence reveals what others are still trying to hide. Your aura acts like a mirror, and not everyone is ready to see their reflection. This is not about you. It moves through you. Understanding the difference between what is truly yours and what is being projected onto you is crucial, not to defend yourself, but to preserve your sense of self. Being the target of projection is not a punishment. It's a sign that your light is shining bright enough to reveal the shadows that others have kept hidden. The ninth sign your aura is powerful is that your silences speak louder than your words. Silence is the containment of energy. It's when you hold your power rather than expending it on needless chatter, forced explanations, or attempts to please. In that held space, something extraordinary is born: presence. Presence is what fills a room without effort. It doesn't demand attention, but it commands respect. It's when someone enters a room and shifts the atmosphere without uttering a single word. That kind of energy doesn't demand attention or justify itself. It simply is. And that quiet presence is what truly captivates. People feel it. They may not know why, but they feel it deeply. Those with powerful auras understand that they don't need to explain everything. They know that silence can often be more expressive than any spoken word. They understand that what is left unsaid can carry more weight than 1,000 words. Silence, when held consciously, radiates self-assurance. It shows that you are at ease in your own presence and that you don't need to fill every moment with sound to prove your worth. Your energy speaks for you. Loud people may grab attention, but they don't have the same magnetism. Those with steady auras are remembered not for their words, but for how they make others feel. Well-timed silence is an extension of your energy, and energy doesn't lie. At the end of the day, one of the clearest signs of a powerful aura is the ability to influence without speaking, a presence that fills a space just by being. Your energy does the talking. The 10th sign that your aura is powerful is that you attract spontaneous confessions. It's happened to you before. Someone you just met suddenly begins revealing deep, personal things. Stories of their childhood, old wounds, fears they've never shared before. Tears fall unexpectedly. And this all happens during a seemingly ordinary conversation. It's as if you open a safe space, a sacred space, where people feel they can shed their masks, even if only for a few minutes. It's not because you ask. It's because you hold space. You hold silence. You allow discomfort, pain, or vulnerability without the need to fix it. Your aura welcomes, not with pity, but with true presence, and that is rare. As one wise teacher said, the unconscious is always seeking a way to express itself. When it finds a steady vessel, one that is stable, non-judgmental, and free of expectation, it speaks. And sometimes it speaks loudly. That vessel is you. You are the type of person who can hold someone else's truth without attempting to reshape it. You listen with every part of yourself, offering attention that doesn't seek answers, but connection. The unconscious recognizes this in you. That is why people speak. They speak without even knowing why, and only after they realize what they've said. Sometimes they feel guilty, thinking they've revealed too much. But it wasn't exposure, it was release. Your presence creates space, and in a world filled with noise, that space is healing. You don't extract truths from others, you invite them. And only those who have made peace with their own shadows can hold someone else's without breaking. So don't be surprised if strangers confide in you or if friends tell you they feel different when they're around you. The explanation is energetic, psychic, and unconscious. You are a symbolic vessel, and only those with steady energy can carry what others are no longer able to hold. The 11th sign that your aura is powerful is that your freedom unnerves those who are still hiding. True freedom makes noise without uttering a word. Your authenticity doesn't need to be aggressive to make people uncomfortable. It simply exists, and that alone is too much for those who are still hiding behind facades. Your freedom exposes what others are still trying to suppress. You don't accuse or point fingers, and you don't try to correct anyone. But just by unapologetically being who you are, you become a mirror that's hard to face. Your way of living silently asks, and are you still pretending? Living freely in a world that rewards conformity is dangerous because your light reveals the chains others are still bound by. Your courage exposes the cowardice of those clinging to comfort. That's why you disturb, not because you intend to, but because your energy challenges without touching. You irritate without offending. Your presence becomes a silent threat to those who have not yet allowed themselves the fullness of their existence. Those with powerful auras don't need to convince anyone. They're not trying to prove anything. They simply live, and that in itself is revolutionary. Have you ever left a place, but felt that your presence remained? That's the 12th sign of a powerful aura. You leave an impact even after you've gone. That's what happens when your energy holds weight. People feel your absence. The silence you leave behind speaks volumes. It's not a typical sense of missing. It's an energetic memory. The energy you carry leaves an imprint. It leaves behind sensations, sometimes discomfort, other times a void, and often an enduring presence that continues to inspire, challenge, or touch those who remain. This cannot be bought, forced, or faked. It's something you are. A strong aura doesn't rely on performance. It creates impact even in silence, even in absence. What you've cultivated within yourself continues to resonate outward, even after you've stepped away. Some people are forgotten while still present, but others are remembered because they were truly there. They didn't just show up, they stayed. And the final sign that your aura is so powerful it might make others uncomfortable is this: your inner journey has shaped the aura you radiate. What others feel when they encounter you, the groundedness, the peace, the light, it didn't come from books or catchy quotes. It emerged from your path, from long nights spent facing your own shadow, from lonely restarts, from symbolic deaths where parts of you had to collapse so something truer could rise. Many talk about auras as though they're a spontaneous glow, but the truth is your aura is born from your journey. It's the product of your willingness to confront darkness, to rise after each fall, and to embrace the light that has come forth. And this energy radiates out, touching everyone and everything you encounter, leaving behind a permanent, powerful imprint. But what truly radiates from you is the result of what has been purified within. Aura is not something you are born with fully formed. It is built in the quiet intimacy with pain, with truth, with a decision never to betray your own soul. You are not light because you never knew darkness. You are light because you learned how to walk through it and return. That force in you, the one that unsettles, attracts, and stirs others, comes from the depth of what you have faced inside. You've seen yourself fragile, lost, even broken, and you chose to come back whole. Now your aura speaks before you do. And what it says is not about power. It's about process, about courage, about the beauty that blooms when someone stops running from themselves and stands in truth. People may call it glow, magnetism, or a different vibration. But what they are really feeling is something deeper, embodied truth. A soul that has been through the fire and did not burn out. You no longer pretend to be. You simply are. And that alone changes everything around you. If you've made it this far, you already understand. This isn't about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about being more awake, more aligned, more honest with your own heart. The signs we've explored aren't medals or spiritual labels. They're reflections of inner work, quiet, deep, and often solitary. They show that your presence carries weight not because you seek attention, but because you no longer fit into the mold of the ordinary. Your energy disturbs because it reflects. It reveals what's misaligned, what's suppressed, what's unresolved in others. You don't do it on purpose. You simply are. And that alone activates, unsettles, and transforms. Your aura is your spiritual signature. It's not something you control. It's the invisible trace of your truth. And the more internally aligned you are, the stronger and clearer this field becomes. More real, more felt, and impossible to ignore. Yes, you will be misunderstood. Yes, people will project onto you. But that is part of the path of those who don't live to please. It is the price of being whole. Don't shrink. Don't dim your light just because it blinds those who aren't ready to see. Don't slow your stride just because it unsettles those who haven't begun their walk. Don't make yourself smaller to fit into spaces that can no longer hold your expansion. Your presence is a reminder, a mirror, a silent invitation for others to awaken too. As Carl Jung said, the collective unconscious reacts to what it hasn't yet integrated. You are one of the few, and you are not here to please. You are here to live in truth. Embrace your energy. Honor what you carry. Don't apologize for being whole. Because in the end, your aura is not about you. It's about what you awaken in the world just by existing. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can keep receiving content designed to help you understand and strengthen your energy. And if you stayed with me this far, I want to know who among you truly feels your own presence. Comment below, my aura speaks before I do. That will be our silent password. The ones who know will recognize. See you in the next